Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and today I'm bringing you episode 9 in our little mini series Crochet with Blanket Yarn. Now I know it was just a couple of days ago when I posted episode 8, and if you haven't already seen that one, please go and watch our playlist Crochet with Blanket Yarn. And also yesterday I put out a video that was showing me using my Swift, and I was balling up my blanket yarn. Now, those of you who've been with me for a while, you already know this, but for all our new yarny friends, I had a huge yarn haul last year, a couple of them actually, and it was all blanket yarn. I just fell in love with the stuff. Now, those of you that don't know what blanket yarn is, let me just show you some here. So basically, it is 100% polyester and it is a very chunky yarn. Now, generally it tells you to use a size 8mm hook on the ball band, but for today's project, I used a 9mm hook because it is a wearable. Now, when I make things like cushions, or household items, I prefer to go down to an 8mm, including amigurumis, because I need that tighter stitch. But for a wearable, I thought it'd be nicer to have something that was a little bit bigger, just to make it a little bit softer and squishier, which it already is. So 100% polyester is the fiber, which means that this yarn is so awesome that you can machine wash it. So you can apply to so many projects, because let's be real, we don't want to have to hand wash delicate things all the time, and we do want to look after our crochet items. So just knowing the fact that we can pop it in a delicate cycle in the machine is awesome. It does say that you can also machine dry it, dry it in the dryer, but I haven't done that, so I'm not sure about that. Now, I have been very lucky, as I said, to have quite a huge collection of blanket yarn, and I've made it my mission this year to get through as much of it as I can for two reasons. First of all, it's my stash. I need to use it. I didn't just buy it to look at it and go, oh my goodness, look at how much yarn I have. And the other thing is that I need the space, guys. I've run out of floor space, and I've got some cubes that I put my yarn in, and it's just, taken over the yarn room. So I really need to get all this blanket yarn sorted, made into projects, and I'm going to be sharing them with you. So I thought, what better way to use them than to make a wearable? Because that's also one of my goals for this year, that I want to make a wearable for every immediate family member, including myself, because sometimes we forget ourselves. And I also have wanted to make a hexagon cardigan for myself for a very long time. Now here it is here, guys. I thought I'd pop it on the coat hanger so you can see it in all its glory. So these are the colors that I used. I thought that they teamed up beautifully. Colors that I would never ever use for myself normally. And let me just show you the back. I think that it actually came out gorgeous. There is a violet color in here as well, the pink, the white, and the green, and I've teamed it up with the solid green as well. Now, those of you that don't know, have never made a hexagon cardigan before, it's basically 2 hexagons that you start crocheting, and you can do them in 2 different styles. You can do the granny stitch, but I did the solid granny stitch. I quite like this look, and I wanted to have this effect, and also it just crochets up so quickly. So basically what you do is you make 2 granny squares, and it doesn't matter what size yarn you use, but let me tell you, when you use the blanket yarn, this just wants to twirl for you, do a little dance. Let's see if you can hold on to it there. So when you use blanket yarn like I did, it just crochets up so quickly. So that was the attraction for me. I wanted to see if I could get a nice wearable out of a blanket yarn, and guess what? You can. This would be so awesome in the winter months. It'll be like a giant hug, like having a blanket on you all the time. Now on me, it's not long, and it's not cropped, so it sort of sits around where my belly button is. And I personally love the bell-shaped sleeves. Can't speak, guys. So I actually love the bell-shaped sleeves. So back to, the construction of it, and you can look at so many YouTube tutorials, and I will direct you to 2 today that I've used, and they're both awesome. So basically what you do is you fold your hexagon so that it makes this shape, basically. So this shape here, and then you seam it up the top for one sleeve. That's one piece. Then you do the same on the other piece, and at the back you join the two panels together. Now I actually use my crochet hook and slip stitch, but you could, you know, whip stitch it or any other mattress stitch or any other stitch that you like to use. Now the only thing that I did add that, you know, you can as well if you choose to, I just thought it made it a bit neater. I did a single crochet border all around the whole cardigan. And then I did 3 on the sleeves. The reason why I did 3 on the sleeves is that they were the right length when you had your arm outstretched, but when you bend it, it was just a little bit short. So I just wanted to add that little bit of detail. By no means do you need to do that, but I actually really enjoyed, you know, just finishing it off that way. Now I started this project yesterday afternoon, and I probably spent maybe 3 hours on it yesterday, because I just didn't want to put it down, guys. The first panel was done last night, like in that period, that 3 hours. And then today I'll probably spend another 4 hours on it, which included the other panel, so the second hexagon, seaming it all up together, and also doing the little, you know, final touches, the little borders. Now, I highly recommend that the way that you work out the sizing of it, because this is how I did it, I actually started putting it on myself and having a little idea of how long it was, but I actually used my stitch markers, and I actually put it together when, you know, just like a rough holding it together, the back as well, so that I could actually wear it, because just draping it on you didn't really give me a good idea, and I didn't want it to be too big, and I certainly didn't want it to be snug. Now, if you like your sleeves not so belly, like a bell, which like I said, I absolutely love that you know, component of this design. It's like a kimono type sleeve, or very much, you know, 60s 70s vibe for me, and that's why I love these colors as well. They're colors I would never normally choose to put together, but I absolutely love the way they turned out. Here they are here, guys, and there's some purple in there as well. So basically the snugglery, I'll put down in the description box the YouTube video that I actually watched. It's a very quick video because it's called the Super Chunky Hexagon Cardigan. And of course, using chunky yarn, I needed to have an idea if there was anything different I had to do. Now, she actually uses a yarn that she used a 15mm hook for, so it's super chunky. And of course, like I said, you work out the size depending on the size yarn you use, but with blanket yarn, this is actually 12 rows in total. This is why it goes so quickly, guys. It's 12 rows and 12 rows, and then you're done. I just think that's awesome. Or 12 rounds of the hexagon. Now, going back to the snugglery video, she does say that if you want a sleeve that isn't as, you know, like the bell shape as much, and you want it a little bit more cinched in, every row she does a decrease, and she shows you how to do it. So in essence, it's a little bit more narrower, not very narrow, but just narrower. And then our gorgeous friend Shannon over at Shannon Talks Yarn, if you haven't already visited her, please do so. I spent many hours today catching up on a lot of her older YouTube videos, which I really enjoyed. Thank you, Shannon. Now, she has a video and where she's modified a hexagon cardigan, and she gives you some really good tips in that. Her cardigan is the granny stitch, so you get to see the difference if you haven't ever seen them before. I have made one before, which I think I mentioned at the start of this video. It was for my son's fiance, and I made that maybe I don't know, maybe a year ago. And she actually really likes it, but I made it with a chunkier yarn, an acrylic yarn, and it wasn't as thick as this one, but it certainly was very thick for me at the time because I didn't have anything like a blanket yarn. So that's pretty much it, guys. You can actually make gorgeous wearables out of your blanket yarn as well. I think this is the first one that I've made. What have I made before? So we've done everything else, but this is the first wearable in our little mini series. Now, I think that I'll be creating a few more wearables out of this because, first of all, you can machine wash them, and, you know, let's be real, when you've got a wearable, you need to wash and wear. And then the other awesome component of the blanket yarn is that it just crochets up so very quickly. 12 rows, guys, 12 rounds of a hexagon, and I've got a cardigan. Putting it all together, just sitting down, relaxing, didn't take any thought at all. I actually really enjoyed it. So I imagine the people like our yarny friends that live in the warmer climates, it would be awesome to have more wearables made out of blanket yarn. And especially if you want to, you know, make a few sets for the family or for yourself, I highly recommend trying a jumper or certainly a hexagon cardigan. So thank you for hanging out with me in such a short space since our last video on crocheting with blanket yarn. I hope to bring a few more to you this year so that I can get through this enormous stash. Let me tell you, everywhere I look, I see a little bit of blanket yarn, which isn't a horrible dilemma to be in, let's be real. But in saying that, I do want to use it. I didn't just, go and buy it so that I can have it sitting here. Now, the only thing I didn't tell you is how much yarn I used in this actual hexagon cardigan. So I've got the little stats written here for you. So it's 1,200 grams, which equates to 4 balls of burlap blanket yarn, because I believe it comes in 300 gram balls. But I actually used 3 bags of millions. So 4 balls at 300 grams each, or 3 bags of 400 gram millions. So it's still 1,200 grams. So it's by no means a light piece of clothing, but it's not heavy where you can't wear it either. So I'm trying to recall, because I should have watched my own video, right? How much I paid for each million in the blanket yarn. It was either $6 or $7. So between $18 and $21 to get such an awesome wearable, I think that is really worth it. So that's something for you guys to have a little think about. See if you would like to crochet a hexagon cardigan. I might just pop it on for you now that we've come to the end of all our little bits of information on it. And like I said, I absolutely love it. So let me try to put it on without making a mess, guys, so you can see what it actually looks like on me. Oh, I'm pulling out my hair. Wardrobe malfunction here. So here we are. That's what it looks like, guys. I absolutely love it. Let me show you the back. And it just comes just to here, like I said, just past my belly button. And I imagine that wearing this in winter I know that it's hot here in Sydney, Australia at the moment, but can you imagine being snuggled up with this on the lounge, watching your TV shows, crocheting away? And like I said, I absolutely love that sleeve. I just feel so fancy in it. Anyway, I just thought I'd share my latest blanket yarn make with you. So that was episode 9. We're nearly in the double digits, guys. So I wonder what I'll be bringing to you for episode 10. Well, for now, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until I see you very, very soon, take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.